What is going on, guys? You left an Osmo stream for me. Wow. Thank you so much, man. What's going on, Haywood? Brian, Gary, Lakers, Wheezy, Bones, Matt, Saraji. What's going on, Jordan? Cool. So we'll wait a couple minutes before people get in here, before we start going over the game notes. But yeah, a lot has changed throughout the day. A couple of key injuries that I didn't really think that were going to end up sitting, like Bradley Beal. I was expecting him to play, but he got downgraded to doubtful, and then he is officially out now. So, you know, Kyle Kuzma, Spencer Dinwiddie get the biggest boost on that team. I think Montrezl Harrell, Daniel Gafford get a boost as well. Not as much because, you know, they're kind of capped with their minutes, splitting all 48 of those center minutes, but I think they're very viable as well. And then Joel Embiid is questionable. He banged knees with Josh Hart last game. Byron, thank you so much for subbing. Yo, if you guys are in here and haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That is the #1 way to support me. I'll get to the Derek Favors thing in a second. But it looks like Joel Embiid banged his knees with Josh Hart last game out. He left briefly. You know, he was on the bench a bit longer than usual. Came back in after that. And then the game blew out, and so he didn't play as many minutes. I think he plays in this game. But if he does not play, Andre Drummond is an absolute lock. And so we are going to have to monitor that for sure. And I think that we are going to get that news, you know, sometime right before lock, because that game starts 30 minutes after lock. And I think we'll probably get it like 45 minutes before that game, which is going to be 15 minutes before lock. So definitely going to have to wait and see with that, because that changes the entire landscape of the slate. And, you know, most of these nights we've been going with the stars and scrubs lineup, and while there are good values on the slate, the real stacked area is in the mid-range with guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Fred VanVleet, Jonas Valanciunas, OG Anunoby. We'll get into the Toronto guys a bit further. Garland is out. Wow. Okay. So we already got news. Garland being out, you know, Ricky Rubio, one of the best plays on the entire slate. I'm going to have to make some changes to the FanDuel stuff, but Ricky Rubio definitely becomes one of the best plays on the entire slate now. Very, very good play on the slate. We can actually go over it real quick before I make updates to the Patreon for you guys. But the Cavaliers rotation last time, the direct backup for Darius Garland was Ricky Rubio. Rubio ended up playing about 25 minutes, put up 36 fantasy points in that time. You know, he gained all of the assist percentage on this team. And now there's no Darius Garland, so I'm expecting around 30 minutes from Ricky Rubio, and you know, he could reach 32, 34 minutes. They don't really have all that many ball handlers outside of him and Sexton, since they like running this super big lineup with Markkanen at the 3, Mobley at the 4, and then Jared Allen at the 5. So, you know, Ricky Rubio is probably a guy you are going to want to be fitting into your lineup. He is 5,600 over here, so yeah, I mean, I think that he is a better play than Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, you are going to want to be playing these guys. Is Rozier out? No, Rozier is expected to play. Rubio or SGA? I mean, both. I think you play both. Okay, so the starting lineup for the Cavaliers: Rubio, Sexton, Markkanen, Mobley, and Allen. Okay, so we are gonna have to make some changes to the Patreon stuff. Maxey or Rubio? Rubio for sure. I think Rubio is definitely a better play than Maxey. Rubio is a far better per-minute producer, and I think they play similar minutes. And Maxey's production is pretty spotty as well, even when he is trying so hard. Actually, is there something on... They don't have anything on here? Damn. Dinwiddie or Rubio? It's Dinwiddie, but I think you need to be playing both, probably. I think, like... Yeah, I think you need to be playing both Dinwiddie and Rubio on this slate. The guards are pretty much locked in place for me with those two cheaper guys, with Rubio. And that's probably going to get me off of Jalen Suggs and going up into that 5K range. Suggs or Giddey? Suggs for me. think Suggs' role on his team is a lot larger than Giddey when both teams are fully healthy like this. Or the Magic, when the Thunder's team is healthy, you know. See a lot of the front court or the back court guys for the Magic being ruled out. But actually, I'm gonna have to change this. Well, that changes quite a bit on this slate. Yeah, no problem, CJ. Russ or LaMelo? Russ for me, for sure. I think Russ is going to be really disrespected. I mean, there are a lot of good guard plays in the low and mid range, so you don't need to play Russ like whatsoever. I mean, I think his role is definitely sketchy on that Lakers team, but I think it's kind of blown out of proportion. SGA, Dinwiddie, or Brogdon? Like straight up points wise, probably Brogdon, but point per dollar, probably SGA. I mean, it's close. Christian Wood. Yeah, Christian Wood's definitely in play. You know, the only bad thing about him is really he doesn't do all that much outside of scoring and getting rebounds, but he's almost guaranteed for a double-double. The Raptors are starting Van Fleet, Goran Dragic, Scotty Barnes, Anunoby, and Achua. Dude, the Scotty Barnes minutes were really, really promising. He played almost 33 minutes last time out, and that was with him picking up his third foul with 5 minutes left in the second quarter, so he could have played 37-38 minutes in that game. And I think him, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby are three of the best plays on the slate, and I'm really not hearing all that much about them today. They are three of my favorite plays, and yeah, I think you guys need to be all over them tonight. Best center tonight, what do you think? Jonas Valanciunas is probably one of my favorite centers for his price. Also love Domantas Sabonis. So if you guys are playing, like most people, a lot of you guys are going to be playing 2 or 3 of these Wizards tonight. And if you are doing that, you're assuming the game stays close. You know, the line is only at Pacers -1.5. So Vegas is not indicating that it's going to be a blowout. But if this game is going to be competitive, it is a very, very good matchup for Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon. You want to bring it back with one of those guys, in my opinion. If you're playing 2 or 3 of these Wizards, it just correlates so well. Randall or Sabonis, Sabonis or Randall or Braun straight up. I'd probably side with Randall there. No one going back to Precious. I would not go to Precious at all. I mean, you know, his minutes are very, very sketchy with Chris Boucher and Ken Burch, because we know those guys aren't going to be play next to each other. So there's 3 guys splitting 48 center minutes, and just because Precious is starting doesn't mean I want to go back to the well with him. Hey, I appreciate that, CJ. Yeah, that's a goated Elias Johnson call. All SGA slander aside, it's a shame he's not shooting guard eligible on FanDuel. Same with Dinwiddie. Yeah, I don't really understand that with the SGA stuff. I mean, I guess he does truly run point guard, but kind of annoying. You like Gobert for GPP? No, I'm not on the Jazz guys tonight. I think there are like super good plays tonight that are going to be under-owned. Rudy Gobert, I mean, I guess he's a fine play, but there's 10 games on this slate, and I'm probably going elsewhere. Rob Williams or Michael Porter Jr.? Michael Porter Jr. You know, Rob Williams is starting even with Al Horford returning, but we saw in the preseason that it just does not look very good with Robert Williams out there with Al Horford. So, and we get Marcus Smart back, Josh Richardson. You know, the whole team's getting healthy. He didn't get in foul trouble. Precious was going to play a lot. I don't think he was going to play a lot. I mean, I don't think he was going to play any more than like 24 minutes. And if that's enough for you, then I guess it's fine. Caruso is still a good value. Yeah, he's like a secondary play for me, $4,200. But with Rubio opening up, like my guard spots are pretty much locked in. Who do you like to win tonight? I like the Pacers tonight. SGA and Dinwiddie are shooting guard eligible on FanDuel. I was about to say, I think you're talking about Draftkings, Steph. What's going on, Max? Favorite FanDuel centers, single entry GPP. Probably going with Jonas Valanciunas there. And then if Joel Embiid plays, I don't think anybody's going to play Joel today. And, you know, go back to last year without Ben Simmons on the court. You know, he averages over 1.8 fantasy points per minute. And this Brooklyn Nets defense is dreadful. And if they want to stay competitive with them, Joel Embiid is going to need to be the man. So if Joel Embiid is playing, I'm going to get some exposure to him. He would be my favorite spend-up option. But if Joel Embiid is out, yeah, I think you just have to play Andre Drummond. This slate could become even more chalky than it already is if Joel Embiid sits. Mobley worth it today? I don't think so at his prices. I guess he's somewhat viable on FanDuel. DraftKings, not so much. KD or Harden on DK. I always prefer Harden there because of the peripherals. Anunoby or Baisley. I have Fred and Scotty already. I'm going with Anunoby there. I have a lineup with all three of them, so I'm not really concerned about playing 3 Raptors today. I think their minutes and opportunities are just so reliable that it's hard for me to not go there. Gorkman's in play, not for me. Luck and Wagner from Orlando. Nah, their rotation is just way too deep for me. White or Schroeder? White for sure. Yeah, that Boston Celtics team is very healthy right now, so. Dinwiddie, Van Fleet, SGA, Rubio is playing all 4 smart. That is what I'm doing. I'm currently playing Dinwiddie, Van Fleet, SGA, and Rubio. I think that is the route that I'm going to end up going today. Duarte still worth it? No, not really at that price tag. You know, he's probably going to play 32 minutes. He shot very, very well last game. You know, I underestimated his role for sure on that team. But if Justin Holiday, Lamb, Torrey Craig were all going to be out, yeah, I would consider him more so on FanDuel than DraftKings. But all 3 of those guys are playing tonight, so not really interested in them. And, you know, the Pacers ran at like an 8-man rotation last time out, so I really like them. And the most notable thing is that Domantas Sabonis was largely playing at center to close the game over Miles Turner. Mo Bamba or Pirtle? Mo Bamba there. Or actually, Pirtle there, sorry. I think his minutes are a lot more secure. Really locking in Rubio? Yeah, I'm locking in Rubio. I love Rubio. Love Rubio today. It's a good matchup, too. Is Embiid playing? We don't know. Doc said that it's a 50-50 for him to play, so. Bamba or Mobley? Mobley for me. I mean, Mobley played 38 minutes last time out, so, I mean, it's hard not to like him. I'm updating the FanDuel lineup right now for you guys. If you guys want to know exactly what I'm playing on FanDuel, DraftKings, and PrizePicks.com, make sure to join my Patreon, or you guys can just join my Discord. That is completely free, linked in the description below. Levine or Brogdon? Brogdon for me. Are those 4 guards all good for FanDuel? Absolutely. Rubio and Cash. Yeah, I think Rubio is like a lock for me today. Playing that 4-guard build good for Cash? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the opportunity and minutes are there, and they're all discounted guys, to be honest. If Embiid is out, does that really boost up Harris and Maxey? You know, it is in Philadelphia, so I'm not that concerned about the blowout. But yeah, I mean, definitely it would boost their usage. I mean, he has a near 40% usage rating without Ben Simmons on the court, so Maxey and Tobias would end up having to do a lot of the grunt work, although Andre Drummond would receive the biggest boost, obviously, from a minute standpoint. Thoughts on Neto? I'm not really on Neto today. I think there's a lot of, I mean, now with the Rubio news, like, there's so many good plays on this slate. You should love everybody in your lineup. You should absolutely love everybody on your lineup. You shouldn't be like, oh, last guy in. Oh, I'm going to play this guy. You should love everybody on your team. Big game for Kuz. Yeah, man. I think Kuz's role on this team is significantly better than it ever was on the Lakers. And, you know, outside of the years before AD. And now Bradley Beal is out. So I think he's going to be like the alpha scorer on that team, taking all of the usage. So I like Kuzma quite a bit. I'm locking him in. And I like Spencer Dinwiddie as well from that team. Okay, the FanDuel lineup on Patreon should be up right in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe. Okay, FanDuel lineup should be up now, and I like it immensely better now that we have Rubio in there. Okay, is 3 Wizards viable? Yes, 3 Wizards is definitely viable. I'm assuming you're playing Kuz, Dinwiddie, and then maybe you're playing one of these centers, which, again, guys, these centers are going to play, they're going to split all 48 of those center minutes. Maxi Green or Giddey? Maxi for sure. Any love for KCP? No. Tatum shot 7 for 30 last game. Yeah, but that game also went into double overtime, so you got to take that into account. Also, you have to take into account that there was no Al Horford, Josh Richardson, Marcus Smart. So I think a lot of people are going to be looking at the box scores of the Boston Celtics and get pretty confused with the reality of the situation, at least for today. What happened to Sabonis? I think Sabonis is a great play. Yeah, if you want to still play him on FanDuel, that's more than fine. If you want to pivot off that lineup, you could just go up from Wood to Sabonis and down to Patrick Williams or Derek Favors. Fred VanVleet, OG, Barnes, viable, ran them 2 nights ago. Yeah, I mean, the opportunities were there for OG and Fred VanVleet for sure. The minutes were there. If the game wasn't blowing out the entire game because of how poorly they were shooting, they would have ended up playing, 36, 37 minutes in that game. And, OG Anunoby scored 30 fantasy points despite shooting 3 for 17. Now, that's not going to continue to happen, but it is promising to see that he's still only 6,200. And the offensive role that he's taking on now that Pascal Siakam is gone and Kyle Lowry is no longer with the team is immense. Him and Fred VanVleet run that offense, and they're going to play big minutes, and the opportunities are definitely going to be there for them. Is Trey Murphy viable? No, not for me. Kuzma or OG? Probably Kuzma for the slight savings, but man, I love both. Do you like Horford on FanDuel GPP? No, I'm not on Horford today. Can you check your Twitter DM when you get a chance? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm not really on Franz Wagner though, Trey, but I like the rest of it. $6,400 at Ford, already have OG. Let's take a look. Oh, Michael Porter Jr. for sure right here. DK line, Dinwiddie, Fred VanVleet, Kuz, Sabonis, Drummond, Rubio, Barnes, Brogg, 0 left over. What could go wrong? Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm curious to see what Barnes' ownership ends up being because he is so... I haven't heard anything on him today. Kuzma and Dinwiddie viable showdown captains, or is Sabonis just a lock? I haven't looked at the showdown, but as long as you can fit in like Dinwiddie, Kuzma, Sabonis, and Brogdon, I would try to get the most expensive of those guys But you can definitely get away with playing Kuzma or Dinwiddie in captain and then making sure you get in the other guys you want, like Montrez or Duarte. If fading Ingram, Murphy viable? I'm not on Murphy at all today. Are people on Murphy today? If you play OG or Fred VanVleet, who you run it back with? I don't think you have to run it back with anybody. I think they're just so discounted with how many minutes and what opportunities they have. So I'm fine with not running it back with anyone. Yeah, I mean, Barnes' price is ridiculous. Barnes projected ownership 23% right now. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I'd like to be over the field on that because I think a lot of people are going to go to Suggs now. But with the other guards on the slate, I'd much rather just get up to Scotty Barnes in a forward position. Abdia, I'm not really on Abdia. Drummond out. Wait, Embiid is out? No way. Don't lie to me. I didn't get an alert. Don't troll like that, please. All right, bro. You about to get this hard ban. Okay. Do you game stack at all? No, not really in basketball. It makes more sense in FanDuel football, but basketball I don't really game stack all that much. Dougie McDermott breaking the slate today. That would be a tilter, wouldn't it? Make buckets. It's 50-50. Yeah, it's still 50-50 for Embiid. Man, I wonder when that news is going to end up coming out. It's kind of annoying. Clown troll, yeah. Jesus, bro. How old are you? Maxi, Green, Barnes, Sabonis, Jones, Rubio, OG, and LaMelo good and DK. Not really on LaMelo. But I like the rest of that lineup. I'm trying to think of what you could do. I'd probably go up from Maxi to SGA and down from LaMelo to, you know, Dinwiddie, if you can do that. You're good, bro. Is Jaylen Brown playing? Yeah, why wouldn't he? The only reason he was questionable last game was because of conditioning issues. And then he ended up playing double overtime and putting up like 1 million fantasy points. Thoughts on Maxi? Yeah, I think Maxi's a great play. I think he's a better play even if Embiid is out. But regardless, go back to last year with no Shake Milton and Ben Simmons on the court. He averaged 1.07 fantasy points per minute. I think he's a fine play for sure. I don't know, man. Kevin Porter or non FanDuel GBP. I'm going with Kevin Porter there. I think the usage and the opportunity for Kevin Porter is crazy. I mean, we'll go through it, the Rockets last game, because there's just so much to like with this Rockets team. So Jalen Green and Christian Wood played 32 minutes, and they missed out on the last 8 minutes. Now, they might not have played the entire 8-minute stint right here, but let's say they played 4 or 6 minutes at the minimum. They were on pace to play anywhere from 36 to 40 minutes, Christian Wood and Jalen Green. Kevin Porter Jr. was playing so bad. I think that he would have ended up playing a bit more, but was he in? So, hold up. He picked up 2 fouls there. Yeah, so, and then Kevin Porter Jr. missed out on let's see, 7 minutes due to foul trouble. So Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, and Christian Wood, if it weren't for foul trouble / blowout run, they would have played like 36, 38 minutes. Now they get a matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, give me all of these guys, especially on FanDuel. Kevin Porter Jr. is like 6,200. And he had a 35.7% usage rating. Insane insane opportunity for Kevin Porter Jr. Love all three of them. Think that all three of them are very, very strong plays on both sides tonight. And actually, I want to hit something on Prize Picks with Kevin Porter Jr. I wanted to make sure I got something with him because his numbers are probably going to be much, much higher moving forward. 15.5 points seems very, very low for Kevin Porter. Let's find somebody to match him with. If you guys have any favorite plays on Prize Picks, make sure to let me know, and we'll throw something together. Vucevic or Wood? I'll probably pay down for Wood there. This looks good for DK Cash, Rubio, Van Fleet, OG, Kuz, Valanciunas, Dinwiddie, MPJ, SGA. Love it. 7,500 favorite utility play. Let's take a look. Geo. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's probably Brandon Ingram. Yeah, it's probably Brandon Ingram there. Oh, you said utility? It would be Fred Van Fleet for me. Yeah, okay. So it's probably Malcolm Brogdon right here at 7,500. Geo. Rockets or Thunder tonight? Man, that's tough. I mean, I really can't choose between the two. I don't really have any lean. What's the line currently on them? 2 points in favor of the Rockets. Only 50% of the bets on the Rockets to cover that spread, and they moved 2 full points from -1.5 to -3.5. So that's not too crazy. Rockets are at home. I probably, man, SGA is just so much better than everybody in this game. It's tough. It's probably the Rockets here if I had a gun to my head, but yeah. So Brogdaddy, yeah, probably Brog. Rozier in, yeah, okay. SGA over 36 fantasy points. Yeah, that's not too bad either. I mean, as long as this game is competitive, which, I mean, it's only a 2.5 point spread, this is literally the best matchup. I mean, you guys will hear from me time and time again. This Houston Rockets team is the best matchup in the entire league if the games can stay competitive, because they are one of the fastest teams in the league, and they have by far the worst defense in the league. So this team is going to be something you want to target moving forward. Rozier as a GPP player. No, I'm not on Rozier. Utility for 6.3K on DK. OG Anunoby for me. Wood or Tobias straight up on FanDuel. Wood for me. Yep, Terry Rozier is in. Yeah, so far we're 2-1 in the official Patreon picks on Prize Picks. We ended up getting in on, actually, let's take a look at what we got in. The lines have moved on what we got in on as the official play. Yeah, so we got in on Jonas Valanciunas over 14.5 real points and Fred Van Fleet over 17.5 real points. And both of those lines moved up a full point. So we are definitely ahead of the curve on that. Porter or OG? OG for me. And I think Michael Porter Jr. is actually going to be higher owned. So the fact that I like OG straight up more, I think he's a better play. I'm going to get him at lower ownership too. So that makes me really like him. Thoughts on Lonzo? I don't mind Lonzo. I mean, it's just like the whole Chicago team is so spread out that any of them could go off in any game. It's just guessing which player is going to be tough when everybody is healthy. But I will say that they run one of the tightest rotations. It's pretty much like a 6-man rotation running for like the majority of the game. As long as Kobe White is out. So they're fine with the minutes, so they have safety in that. But who's going to go out? I don't know. Waiting for Kevin's word, Taylor. Oh, yeah, man. I forgot. Man, I feel bad for even forgetting about Kevin. We should have talked about him earlier. Or talked to him earlier. I forgot about him. The preseason GOAT, giving us all the 76ers news. Favorite 2v2 pivot on our FanDuel. What was it? It was Sabonis and Claxton in the power forward spots. Assuming Claxton starts. If not, then I don't like that, but yeah. Everything else is pretty locked in on that lineup, though. Brogdon or Sabonis? Sabonis for sure. Any love for Trey Murphy? No Trey Murphy love for me. Why is everybody on Trey Murphy today? Am I, like, missing something? I already went over their rotations and stuff. Oh, just because Josh Hart's hurt? I mean, pretty concerning that he played this small of a stint and then didn't play until the blowout run. You were right about Hunter, bro. When that was happening, I was thinking about that comment. I was like, well, you were like, we'll see about him versus Herter, but yeah. It was close. I mean, Herter was beating his ass in Herter's first stint, but the only reason I liked Hunter more is because I thought the minutes were more secure, and that ended up being true. Derek Favors. Yeah, so I think Derek Favors is actually a pretty sneaky play. We can look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. It looks like he's probably going to play about 24 minutes a game. He was really outmatched size-wise against the Utah Jazz, and the game ended up blowing out. But I think, I talked about it earlier, I think he's in a similar situation to what Al Horford was last year, where he's going to play mid-20s minutes and be very effective when he's out there on the court. But he's just not going to get that. He doesn't have the upside in minutes. But, you know, Al Horford in this situation last year was in the 5Ks, and Derek Favors is 3.6K. So I think he's definitely he's definitely GPP viable on this slate. J-Val or Tobias Harris if Embiid sits. If he sits, it's probably Tobias. But I love Jonas Valanciunas today. Josh Hart makes him slightly viable, but very thin. Yeah, very, very thin. Taylor, what do you think? Rubio, Suggs, Barnes, Sabonis, Wood, Jalen Green, Randall, SGA. I like that a lot. Thoughts on this cash lineup? It's kind of weird. Dinwiddie, Neto, Wagner, Maxey, Duarte, Avdia, Randall, Sabonis, Jokic. You really stacked the bottom of that lineup. I think I like Rubio more than Maxey, but I'm trying to see, can you get Rubio, Dinwiddie, and Maxey in that lineup somehow without, maybe get off Duarte and go up to those guys, and then, yeah. Is the FanDuel line you put out recently, is the line for tonight correct? That is. What values do you like on DK? Scotty Barnes is my favorite value for sure. I think Jalen Suggs is viable, but he does take up a guard spot, and I think the best plays on the slate are at the guard spot. So I'm on less Jalen or Suggs than I was. I think Giddey is a fine cash play as well at value. Rozier is starting, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's as expected. Not on Rozier. Favors over Achua? Yeah, I would rather have Favors. Yeah. Check DM. I got you, man. Yeah, Matt, that lineup is nuts. That's what I was looking at something like that earlier. What is it missing? I don't think it's missing anything necessarily, but does it have all the guards? It does. I mean, yeah, Matt, that's like the lineup tonight, I think. Because it has Sabonis as well. Yeah, just got to get off Duarte. Yeah, then I'd like it a lot more, Blaze. Sabonis and Maxey or Shea and Ingram? Probably the Shea side. That's close. Thoughts on Tobias? I don't mind Tobias today. I'd like him a lot more if Embiid was out, obviously. But, you know, if Embiid is out, you run like a real risk of blowout. Favors or Sengun? Favors. Sengun got extended run last time because the game blew out. I don't expect this game to blow out. 3,600 left for FanDuel, Toppin or Lamb. You know, I'm probably going to go with Toppin there just because Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel are out again. And we saw the end of the game, I'll show you guys, with the Knicks. And this is what we saw exactly in the preseason, in their last preseason dress rehearsal game, that they wanted to experiment with this, and their offensive rating goes through the roof. when Julius Randle slides to the 5 and Obi Toppin is playing at the 4. I'm expecting Mitchell Robinson fully to get the start here, but would not be surprised if they close the game again with Julius Randle at the 5 and then Obi Toppin at the 4. Let's see how many straight minutes Obi Toppin played. 8.5 minutes there. So he played like 20 straight minutes to close out the double overtime game. So, I mean, Obi Toppin, I think, is a sneaky tournament play. Yeah, now it's Dinwiddie, Neto, Rubio, Maxey, Wagner, Abdia, Randall, Sabonis, Jokic. Yeah, I like that a lot more. A lot more. GPP, Rubio, Suggs, Kuzma, Randall, J-Val, Dinwiddie, Sabonis, Barnes. Love it. Favorite punt, 3.5 or under. 3.5 or under. Sheesh. I don't even know if there's anybody down there that I'm really that interested in. At this point, I'm really just wanting Joel Embiid to start, so I don't have to mess with my lineups because I'm liking where I'm at. I mean, best 3.5K and under guy is probably going to end up being Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He played good minutes yesterday, or last game. I think it was 27 minutes. Yeah, he played 27 minutes, and now Bradley Beal's out, so should be good. Yeah, the FanDuel multi-eligibility is a lot better now. How are we feeling about Robert Williams with Al back in there? Yeah, I can't touch Robert Williams. Patty Mills or Rubio? Rubio for sure. Sean, I got you right now. Okay. Buddy Hield or White? Ooh. Probably Derek White there. Rank your best top stacks, Taylor. I mean, I don't really have, I guess I like the Wizards a lot. The Rockets. How can I pivot off Suggs at shooting guard? I have $4,300. On which site? On Draftkings? Because I would just try to get up to, Dinwiddie, Rubio. Wizards will start Dinwiddie, Aaron Holiday, Caldwell-Pope, Kuzma, Gafford. That's pretty much what I was expecting. I wonder how many people are going to flock to Aaron Holiday. He is $3,300, but unfortunately he eats up a guard spot, and so I'm not really considering him all that much. But with him getting the start, I think a lot of people are there's gonna be some ownership on him for sure. Buddy Hield or White though, probably Derek White is close. So Aaron Holiday starting, is he in play? No. You like Drummond even if Embiid starts? No. No, if Embiid is playing, I don't like Andre Drummond. He's not cheap enough to pay off. I mean, he could pay off that price tag in limited time, but yeah. Mikal Bridges, Aaron Gordon, or 5,100 Ford. I go with Mikal there. Yeah, dude. I mean, if Embiid is out, we're going to have to change our lineups completely because you have to get in Drummond. But the lineups are going to be so chalky tonight if that happens. They're already going to be pretty chalky. Wood or Tobias FanDuel? I'd go with Wood there. You like Gobert? I'm not really on Gobert today. Any thoughts on Aaron Gordon? He looks a lot better to start the year. Oh, my music. Oh, I played non-copyright music again, man. That's tough. I guess my shit's not monetized anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. Thunder are going to start Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lugan Stewart, Josh Giddey, Darius Baisley, and Isaiah Roby. So actually, Derek Favors coming off the bench now, as opposed to him starting last time. So that's actually probably a downgrade to Derek Favors. Still like Shai. I love Shai. Any thoughts on Abdia? I'm not really on Abdia. Rubio. What Green is that? Jalen Green, I'm assuming. Bojan Bogdanovic, Tobias, J-Val, SGA, Barnes, D. Mitchell, GPP. Yeah, I'm not really on Mitchell at that price, but I don't mind it. I mean, I guess if you're just going with like the later stack, I'm assuming. I don't know what Barnes is that Harrison Barnes or Scotty? Well, actually, looking at the rest of your lineup, it's probably Scotty. I don't mind it. You should have your substitutions in order if Embiid is out. Yeah, I mean, I'm already ready with the Embiid thing. That's what I was working on. Once we got the Darius Garland news, I just had to adjust what I was going to originally do if Embiid was ruled out. But we should be good to go. Roby starting not favors. Yep. Does Roby have 4? He does have 4 eligibility. He's 4,500 though. It's a bit too expensive. So Achua or Favors. Now I would prefer Precious there then over Favors. DK line is Dinwiddie, Fred VanVleet, Kuz, Barnes, Sabonis, Rubio, OG, SGA, or if Embiid is out, Drum, Brog over OG, SGA. Man. Yeah, I don't know if I can get off SGA. But, I mean, that is definitely a viable swap if Embiid is out. Barnes or Roby? Barnes for sure. Is Caruso a good spot? I mean, he's fine. I mean, he should continue to play like 26, 28 minutes a game. He is pretty affordable. But again, I think that he eats up a guard spot, so not really something I'm looking to get to today. Fred VanVleet back on the train again. Price dropping too low. I mean, yeah, way too low. He averaged over almost 1.3 fantasy points per minute last year with no Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry. So, and he shot 19 times game 1. He just didn't shoot well. Him and OG hit their shots and they break the slate and they score like 50 fantasy points. So Ingram shot 26 times last game. Yeah, I mean, Ingram's shot volume should definitely be there. Again, him, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Jonas Valanciunas' role and opportunities are definitely going to be there night in and night out. Spare without the music. Hey, Razor Smooth. I got to schedule my next appointment. It's funny that you're in here. I feel bad for wearing a hat. Yo, Britt, you playing the Fiend on Patreon? Britt loading up in the contest. That's funny. Buy low on Fred VanVleet. Absolutely. Suggs and Randall or Rubio and Christian Wood. I'm definitely going with Rubio and Christian Wood there. I think you need to be playing Rubio today. Rubio in the latter part of his career has just been so good on a per minute basis that and with the Cleveland Cavaliers just fully willing to give their guys as many minutes as possible at his price tag, it's hard to get away from him. Okay, I'll play that other stuff. Any updates on Prize Picks? I'm kind of just waiting in the shadows, waiting for this Embiid news to drop, and then I can hop on the Joel Embiid prop because he is at. Oh, is he still here? Oh, whoops. Yeah, he's at 20. Yeah, so if we get news that Embiid is out, just keep in mind that Andre Drummond's fantasy score on Prize Picks is 20, and he would step into the starting lineup, and I would have him projected in the mid-30s, so would become a must-play. OG or Levine on FanDuel. I mean, if I have the money, I'm going with Levine there, but I like OG a lot. Richardson available now? Yeah, I mean, the Celtics seems fully healthy. Tomorrow. I've been wearing a hat all day. Don't want to do it any injustice, but yeah, she was telling me about you. Who do you think will be higher owned, Wood or J-Val? I'm assuming Wood's going to be higher owned, but I like Jonas Valanciunas slightly more. If Embiid is out, is Tobias a lock with Drummond? I don't think he's a lock. I'd be really concerned with how that offense runs. It'd be shades of the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. Harrison Barnes or Bamba? Harrison Barnes. I mean, he shot, out of his mind last game, and I wouldn't expect that. But with Marvin Bagley not being in the rotation any longer in the front court or the front office, not interested in playing him, it opens up a ton of minutes for the wings. And so Harrison Barnes, his minutes were already secure, and now with Bagley out of the rotation, he should play, 36, 38 minutes a game. So, and Bamba, his minutes are more secure with Wendell Carter Jr. playing at the 4, so they don't have to split all of them at the 5. And, but he's still not going to reach anywhere near the minutes that Harrison Barnes is going to. Toppin over Favors. Yeah, I'd probably prefer Toppin to Favors now. Yeah, Roby's starting over Favors. Turner or Pirtle? Pirtle for me. I mean, Turner is pretty sketchy today because yesterday or last game we saw Sabonis close at the 5 over Miles Turner, and they just played those other wings instead of Turner. So if we see that again, obviously a big boost to Sabonis, but Miles Turner definitely becomes pretty sketchy. Pick 2 Sabonis, Harden or Durant. So you want to play Sabonis there. You don't want to play Harden and Durant. You're capping your upside a bit, but I'm always going to side with Harden just because of the peripherals are so much higher for him than Durant. Not as scoring dependent as Kevin Durant is, but you know, it's Kevin Durant. He should be able to do whatever he wants scoring wise, especially in this game without Ben Simmons. But I do prefer James Harden. Precious or Favors? Precious. But man, I don't think you need to be going there tonight. I think there's like a lot of good plays. I don't think you need to be going down to plays you're having a tough time convincing yourself of. Fournier return game to Orlando, big game. Yeah, no, I'm not really on Fournier. Fournier didn't really get it done until double overtime, so not expecting that to happen again. Rubio, Fred VanVleet, Barnes, OG, Sabonis, Dinwiddie, Kuzma, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, that's like the best lineup I think you can possibly make on this slate. Ricky, I love that lineup. Thoughts on Anthony Davis? Yeah, I think Anthony Davis is fine. He's my favorite of the Lakers tonight. It looks like he's going to play by far the most minutes out of the 3 studs, you know, by a good 2-3 minute margin this year. And with their willingness to play him at the 5 more than previous years, where he's obviously a much better producer than when he's playing at the 4. I like him quite a bit. So Robinson is getting the start for the Knicks. Going to be Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Randall, Mitchell Robinson as expected. If I need a 4,100 or under small forward play, if FD the best play, there's Dozier, House, Crowder. There actually was a player sub 4K at small forward or 4,100. Actually, it might be Isaiah Roby. What do you say? 4,100 under small forward? Yeah, it would either be Isaiah Roby or Patrick Williams. So Patrick Williams ended up playing 28 minutes yesterday. But he exited the game a bit early because he was diving for a ball and he injured his shoulder. So he was on pace to play about 32 minutes. So you can get a 32-minute player for $4,000 out of Patrick Williams. Now, not a very good per-minute producer, but this matchup is pretty good. And at $4,000, you can definitely do much, much worse. Aaron Holiday over Neto for Showdown, right? I'd prefer Neto off the bench than Holiday. I think Neto and Dinwiddie are probably going to split the ball handling duties and staggered their minutes. Patreon, $5,000 on the forward on DK, not named Barnes. Probably Jalen Green for me. Thoughts on Maxey, Suggs, Kuzma, Sabonis, Favors, Rubio, Durant, LaMelo? I like it. Is PrizePicks legal in the U.S.? Yes, they are legal in, man, I wish I had it off the top of my head. I think it's like 33 states. It's something like that, and they were just announced legal in Maryland. So if you're in Maryland, they just became legal in the last couple days. So you guys want a 100% match bonus up to $100. You want to take advantage of promos like that. You can use code Taylor, TAYLOR. Yeah, and I'll help you out with your plays every single day. Ownership going to be high on Duarte. I hope it's going to be high on Duarte. I mean, he's going from being like $3,400 to $6,000. I think that is quite the price increase. Favors or Wagner on FanDuel? Wagner for me. Although I'm not really interested in either of them, especially with Derek Favors not grabbing the start. Typically, I don't care if guys get the start or not. But Favors' minutes are already running pretty thin. He needs to get those like 24 minutes to be viable. Now it's a bit sketchier with Roby getting the start. Never feel good about fading Jokic, but got it tonight. Yeah, I feel that. What's going on, CJ?
Advertising is based on one thing.
Let's place a bet before we get into the slate while we wait for this Drummond news, because I feel like we've gotten to pretty much all of the questions. Trez or Duarte vacuum for Showdown or Gafford?
It's a billboard on
I'd probably go with Duarte just for the minutes. I think his minutes are pretty safe in that 32-minute range.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah, CJ, they just became legal in the last couple of days. You can deposit via PayPal right now, and then very soon you'll be able to deposit with your card. So, yeah, make sure to go and check out Prize Picks, man. Embiid just took floor for warm-ups. That's a good sign, huh? So I'm assuming we're not going to get this news until after lock. So make sure to leave a utility spot open, leave your center spot open if you need to. Yeah. So you like J-Val better than Wood for cash? Yeah, I do. I mean, J-Val is much like OG Anunoby. He shot 19 times, but he made 3 baskets and scored 9 points. It was abysmal performance. Much better matchup here. Vucevic, great offensively. Defensively, quite the opposite. So I think that J-Val gets it going today. Pacers -30 was a lock. Yeah. I mean, it's even right now. I think it's like -1.5. So don't mind that. Duarte or Barnes? Which Barnes? I like Duarte more than Scotty Barnes, straight up. But I like Harrison Barnes more than Duarte. So I got you on both those. OG and Fred VanVleet, same lineup. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's definitely fine. Definitely fine. They're too cheap. So if they were more expensive, then I'd be more concerned. But I think they can both definitely hit their ceiling together at those prices. Yeah, if you guys were in the Discord, as soon as we got news that Bradley Beal was unlikely to play, we slammed Dinwiddie over 29 fantasy points, and that moved up to 38. And then we got Kuzma over 29 as well, I think. And he is at... Is he even on here anymore? Or am I... Oh, he's up to 32.5. I keep forgetting because he's in that Lakers jersey. But I guess we'll hit a 2-pick right here. I'm going to go with Kevin Porter Jr. as one of them. Do I want to hit his 30 fantasy points? He has been dealing with so many turnovers, especially last game. I'd probably go with his player prop over that. But he had a 35.7% usage rating, and he was on pace to play big minutes. So I think I'm going to go back to the well with that. Actually, I'm going to hit the over on OG Anunoby again. I have a lot of eggs in that basket. Small field GPP, Dinwiddie, Suggs, Giddey, Scotty Barnes, Vucevic, Harden, Sabonis, Maxey. I like it. Best center while waiting for the Embiid news, Drummond, Wendell, Carter, Harrell. I mean, if Embiid is in and you're choosing between Wendell Carter and Harrell, I'd rather have Montrezl Harrell. Wendell Carter not as good because now that he's playing next to Mo Bamba, while it secures his minutes, he is playing further away from the basket, and he's not much of a shooter, so further away from the basket, so less putbacks and less rebounds opportunities. Any Goon love? Yeah, anytime I have an opportunity to think that Goon is even remotely viable, I'm going to put him on the sheet. But he's not really viable. They upped his price a bit. And unless you think this game blows out, he's probably not going to play very many minutes. I can give you an example right now with the Rockets. So last game, Sengun ended up playing. So there's almost 6 minutes. So he played about 10 minutes in the first half. I guess he was on pace for like 20 minutes anyways. So I guess he could pay off this price tag. How much is he? 39. Yeah, I guess he's not the worst play. KCP thoughts? I'm not on KCP. He's just too shooting reliant for me. Ingram a bum if he doesn't clear over 24.5 real on price picks with no Zion. I mean, if he's going to shoot that many times again, yeah, it would be pretty tough. How are we supposed to know? I mean, we'll let you know in the Discord if you guys want to join that. That's completely free. Linked down below. Somebody will let you know whenever that happens. KPJ over SGA? No, I'd like SGA more. I like 80 real 24.5 tonight against Suns a bit. Yeah. It's just like kind of tough with the there being 3 of those guys. And it is a tough defensive matchup for sure. Man, I kind of want to make a non-OG play. I think all of my plays today have OG over. It will be known for sure. We have inside information with the 76ers, so that's definitely going to happen. Best value plays from Brooklyn and Philly. Tyrese Maxey. I mean, Nicholas Claxton, assuming he gets the start again. Kevin Porter, Barrett, FanDuel GPP. Kevin Porter for sure. Kevin Porter and RJ Barrett realistically should play similar minutes if it's not for foul trouble and blowout. And Kevin Porter's usage rating is like double RJ Barrett's. Dean Wade is available. Holy shit, man. Crazy. Isaiah Roby starting over Derek Favors today. Any value there? I don't mind Roby, but I'm off Favors now. Trying to figure out one play I want to fit with this Kevin Porter Jr. play. Maybe something in the first game too. I want something to sweat right away because I'm a degenerate. I think I'm going to go Sabonis over 22.5 with Kevin Porter over 15.5. Let's put 50 on that. Kevin Porter Jr. over points. Sabonis over points. Dean the Legend Wade for sure. Scotty Barnes, Jay Valor, MPJ, and Dinwiddie. Probably, wow, that's close. Probably the J Val side. Toby or Barnes. Oh, Roby or Barnes. Barnes for sure. Would you play Rubio over Drummond if Embiid is out? No, I'd rather have Drummond there, but you know, you would ideally want to have all those guys. If Embiid plays, I can see 2 quick ones for Claxton. Yeah, that's exactly what my thought was. I don't like predicting foul trouble and stuff, or blowouts, just because, you know, most of the time it comes at your own detriment. But I do believe that that is a possibility. Malcolm rebounds. What was that at 5? Yeah, that's not too bad. Tay has the same line as one of you just bet. It's 23. Oh, shit. Actually, I'm going to place that. Damn, I wish I would have gotten on that earlier. I'm going to hit the Jaysean. I forgot about that. I do have some of it. The Jaysean Tate under 23 fantasy points. I mean, dude, this guy struggles mightily to score anything, do anything, score, pick up boards, anything. And Daniel House could return, so I like the under on him. All right, guys, we got less than a minute to lock. 20 seconds. Make sure to lock in your lineups if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to like, subscribe. I'm here every single day, dropping my primer video in the morning at 7 a.m. Central Time, as well as my 1-hour live streams before lock every single day. Of course, brought to you by prizepicks.com. Use code Taylor, TAYLOR, when signing up and depositing for a 100% instant match bonus. If you guys have any questions about Prize Picks, make sure to hit me up in the Discord. Went Melo, Sabo, KBJ, OG, and BI over on Prize Picks. I like all those. Vucevic or Valanciunas based on price? Val for sure. All right, guys. It is lock time. I appreciate you guys being here.